Good morning everyone. This is Kaylin Kamikawa. This time, I would like to talk about iCloud backup. I often get the message, iCloud is full. If you look at it, you may find that iCloud backup is bloated. But now, what is iCloud backup? In the first place, iPhone already has something called iCloud. What is iCloud? A free cloud service provided by Apple Inc. for iPod, iPad, iPhone users. With this, you can use the contents of your iPod, iPad, iPhone via Wi-Fi. It can be stored directly in a huge data center prepared by Apple Inc. The iCloud function is a function aimed at data sharing between devices. This includes Photos, Safari, Notes, iCloud Drive, and more. Specifically, it is the data displayed in Settings, Apple ID, iCloud. Since the data has been uploaded to iCloud, you can receive data from iCloud even if your iPhone breaks down or you change models. So iCloud has the data. Isn't it necessary to have something like iCloud backup? I think so, but is it because the type of storage is different? The description of iCloud backup includes: the setting information in the iPhone you are currently using is automatically saved outside the iPhone. Even if you buy a new iPhone or reset it, you can always put it back and functions that can be used immediately as before, about it. In other words, when you buy a brand new iPhone or reset it, select Restore from iCloud Backup in the initial setup flow. Just sign in with your Apple ID. It is a function that quickly restores the same state as your original iPhone. This is a feature that has not yet been realized on PCs and Android. Is it one of the great points unique to the iPhone? And in this iCloud backup data that has already been uploaded to iCloud, it is said that it is not included in the backup data. No, I heard it for the first time. Therefore, iCloud data and iCloud backup data do not overlap. You must be kidding? If so, why is there a photo in iCloud backup? If you use this, will it grow to many GB? I'm using iCloud Photos, so isn't it a logical contradiction that the backup photo data grows larger? Is extremely doubtful. If you turn on both iCloud Photos and iCloud Backup Photos, isn't it possible to duplicate photographs and consume twice the capacity? But Apple's answer is if you have iCloud Photos turned on and you're uploading photos to iCloud, photos are no longer included in the data covered by iCloud Backup. iCloud storage will not be duplicated. Of course, not only photos, the same is true for data that already uses iCloud, Safari, Contacts, Notes, etc. But in reality, iCloud backups are getting bigger and bigger? I'm not convinced. The capacity required for backup is several megabytes to several tens of megabytes per iPod, iPad, iPhone. However, if you store a lot of photos, videos, and apps, it can exceed several gigabytes at once. It consumes iCloud disk space in no time. Up to 5 gigabytes in total is free. If you have a lot of data stored in your iPod, iPad, iPhone, there is no other way but to increase the capacity for a fee. So I also increased it to 50 gigabytes. It costs 130 yen per month. However, this expansion is quite uncomfortable for students and others. If you look a little closer, with iCloud Backup, the following data will be backed up: application data, Apple Watch backup, device settings, home screen and application placement, iMessage, SMS, MMS messages, photos and videos stored on your device, purchase history from Apple services, music, movies, TV shows, apps, books, etc. Ringtone, visual voicemail password. Also, as a condition for starting automatic backup, connected to Wi-Fi wireless LAN, power is supplied from the AC adapter or PC, sleeping, locking. When all three conditions are met, it will be implemented only once every 24 hours. If you want to make a backup at other times, tap Settings iCloud Backup. Create backup now. If you disable or stop using iCloud Backup, the last backup will be stored for 180 days. What's more unknown is iCloud Backup has the feature of generation management. If you save your iPhone backup in iCloud, apart from the iPhone backup that was on iCloud storage, a new backup will be saved. iCloud backup function is separate from the latest backup. Old backups are also saved. iCloud backup is on iCloud storage. Save 3 backups of iOS devices with the same Apple ID as follows: Latest backup file. The previous backup file. 2 previous backup files. Thus iCloud backup. 3rd generation backup files are saved. When restoring an iCloud backup, instead of the latest backup, it is possible to specify the previous backup file and restore it. Managing backup files for 3 generations is basically for users. It's a big advantage in that you can return your iPhone or iPad to the previous state. In reality, there are many disadvantages. It means that the backup file is stored for 3 generations. That's because it consumes the storage capacity of iCloud. The capacity to use iCloud for free is 5 GB. iCloud backup is about 2 to 3 GB on average, so when saving a 3rd generation backup, it cannot be saved in the size of 5 GB. I get a message saying, iCloud is out of storage space. This is because you may not be able to save your iCloud backup. If you are using the free 5 GB capacity, the disadvantage of squeezing iCloud storage capacity is higher. If you look closer, I have iCloud Photos turned on in iCloud storage. If you also have iCloud Backup Photos turned on, depending on the settings and operations, it may be saved twice. Huh? You said it wouldn't be saved twice, but would it be done? For example, immediately after turning on iCloud Photos for the first time. If you used to turn off iCloud Photos and create iCloud Backup, of course, the backup contains photos. If you turn on iCloud Photos in that state, photos are stored in iCloud storage separately from the backup. However, since there are still photos in the backup, it will be in a double saved state. However, over time, old backups will be deleted. If a new backup is saved, it will be resolved, but until then it will remain double saved. Also, if you have multiple devices signed into iCloud with the same Apple ID, it's not strange to have both photos in iCloud and backup. For example, consider the following case. Use 2 iPhones, same Apple ID. iPhone A has iCloud Photos on, iPhone B has iCloud Photos off. Looking at iCloud storage on iPhone A, photos are saved separately from the backup. There are no photos in the backup. But when I look at iCloud storage on my iPhone B, even though there is a photo in the backup, photos are saved separately from the backup. However, this photo is a photo of iPhone A and does not include a photo of iPhone B, so the iPhone B photos are not duplicated, but on the outside, it looks like both are saved. However, there is another exception. That is, if you make a backup with iCloud Photos turned on and off. For example, if you have one iPhone and one iPad, suppose both have iCloud Photos turned on. From this state, I turned off iCloud Photos only for iPhone and created iCloud Backup. Then, the backup created on the iPhone contains photos. iCloud Photos also includes photos taken with your iPhone. It is a double storage. Because the photos stored in iCloud are, unless you turn off iCloud Photos on all devices that use the same Apple ID, it will remain forever. In this case, iCloud Photos on the iPad will remain on, so far, the photos taken with iPhone and saved in iCloud remain. As you can see, it becomes very complicated. And even if the photos are deleted from iCloud, it will remain in the trash for 30 days, so don't forget to delete it as well. iPhone storage space will not increase. That's why it may be double stored and it will remain in the trash. Depending on the operation, iPhone storage may not be available easily. In addition, it is a file management application that is different from the photo application such as Google Photos and Documents. If you delete a photo on your camera roll, it will not only remain in the app's trash, from the photo app, because there are no files in the camera roll, iCloud Photos may be restored to your camera roll and some photos may be erased again. So, if you don't delete the photo from the photo app again, it won't disappear from the camera roll. Furthermore, even if you delete it with the photo app, it remains in the iCloud trash, so it won't disappear unless you delete it from the trash. As I said, it will not disappear unless you erase it over and over again. It is complicated and strange and wastes space. So don't use either iCloud Photos or iCloud Backup Photos. I think it's correct. I recommend turning off iCloud Backup Photos. There are 2 reasons. The photos included in iCloud Backup are you cannot see or download the contents. Since it is not compressed, it consumes only the capacity before it happens. In that respect, iCloud Photos can be viewed and downloaded normally. You can also share your photos on other devices. iCloud Photos are overwhelmingly more convenient, so if you want to keep them, you should keep them. Also, if you are using multiple terminals, iCloud Photos contains data from multiple devices. It takes time to select and delete only the photos for one iPhone. In that respect, iCloud Backup can be easily deleted because the data is separated for each device. And iCloud Backup is saved for 3 generations, so the capacity will be enlarged. And there is one more thing that many people have misunderstood. iCloud Photos, iCloud Backup Photos. There is no function that automatically stocks photos deleted from the camera roll. This iCloud isn't stock, it's just automatic sync. Photos and videos that exist in the iPhone's camera roll at a certain point it just saves automatically and regularly. That is, what you deleted from your iPhone, the cloud doesn't save it for you. In other words, if you delete it from the iPhone itself, it will be deleted from both iCloud Photos and iCloud Backup Photos. It just doesn't seem to be removed from the cloud due to the time lag. Because this time difference is a songwriter and it takes a lot of time, during that time, the cloud will not be automatically vacated. In fact, over time, it will be deleted and synced with the iPhone itself. Even more complicated is the trash can. Even if you delete it, it will be stored in the trash for 60 days, so during that time, your iPhone storage will not be free for 60 days. This is also a source of misunderstanding. Even if you delete it from the iPhone itself, you will mistakenly think that it will not be deleted from the cloud. As mentioned above, it will be very complicated, so if you use iCloud Photos, I think it's correct to turn off iCloud Backup Photos. So, if iCloud Photos are turned on, will everything be solved? That said, this also has a lot of inconveniences. For example, if you want to load a photo of your iPhone into your PC, if you have iCloud Photos turned on and you only have thumbnails inside your iPhone, I can't copy and paste from the iPhone to the PC. So why not copy and paste from iCloud Photos to your PC? I think for large video files that exceed 1 GB, copying from iPhone to iCloud and from iCloud to PC both take a considerable amount of time. If it's one file, many files are too much work to copy and paste, though not very much. After all, it is much faster to copy and paste from the iPhone body. Then, set iCloud Photo to Download Original, and wouldn't it be nice to leave a photo on the iPhone itself? I think that would put pressure on the iPhone storage capacity. There isn't much point in using the cloud other than sharing. In other words, it's not very useful. In that case, it is better not to use iCloud Photos from the beginning, but to copy and paste them to your PC and stock them. Just move the files you want to share from your camera roll to your iCloud Drive and store them. We'll come to the conclusion. So iCloud Photos are slow, it eats storage, it can't be moved to PC. The conclusion is that it is difficult to use. Basically, is it faster to read and write as iCloud stores it on USB? Except for increasing the storage of the iPhone itself, that is, changing the model, there is no optimal solution. Well, I have to put up with it and use it. That's all.